In my crumble opinion.
Hello, my little crumb guzzlers. Welcome to In My Crumble Opinion. It's a very special episode. I almost never do three ways on screen, but here we are. I'm so excited. Before we get started, I do want to implore you to go ahead and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get notified whenever we post one of these videos. You can also listen to us on Spotify. I just like to say that at the beginning of every episode because in case you're a new person, I want you to know how you can enjoy our content. I also have a Patreon, and at the end of the episode, I'm going to yell out, shout out all my patrons. So thank you so much for making this possible. It really keeps me going. I mean, like, I'm not rolling in the dough, but like the confidence boost of having subscribers and patrons is like invaluable to me because I'm a fragile drag queen that needs oh my god, I just realized I'm not wearing a wig.
Like no one's gonna know who you are. Like, you haven't introduced yourself yet.
Oh my god, I haven't even introduced myself. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go put a wig on because this is insanity. Hold on.
I kind of live.
You live? Okay. Please stop recording. I'm gonna get a wig. All right, I'm not doing that intro again. I think I got all I needed to get out. I am wearing a wig now. I do feel better. Everyone just alerted me that I look exactly the same. So, drag is also a feeling. It's not only kind of like what.
It's the fantasy.
Yeah, it's the fantasy. What's happening outward. Okay, so I'm now feeling my fantasy. And this is a very special episode because I have with me both Beatrix LaHaine and Mama Celeste, the founders of Oaklash. Once again, I am Phoebe Cakes. I'm also really bad at introducing myself. So thank you, Mama Celeste, for reminding me to introduce myself to the viewers at home.
Drag hosting 101, yeah. Baby.
Okay, so can you just give a quick introduction to who you are and how you started drag? We can go either way. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'm Beatrix LaHaine, born and raised in Oakland. I started drag in 2015, and it's a funny story because it coincided with meeting gay people for the first time, taking a clown workshop, and then seeing my first drag show. I still hadn't watched Drag Race at that time, even like a year into being a drag performer. But I saw Trixie Mattel at Beau, and I was like, I can do that. And that was like 2015 Trixie Mattel too. So I was like, oh, I can do that. And then took the clown workshop, met the Radical Fairies, and I was like, oh, I can do that as well. And yeah, 2015
and you did them.
Yeah, I did them. So 2015 was do it, do them, do it all.
Yeah. I do want to say this is a full circle moment for me because I definitely remember when I was getting interested in doing drag, going to, I think it was called the Nightlight, where Tragic Queendom just started, and then seeing you in drag and going, I can do that. Easy. But that was wild. That was fun. You're iconic from the beginning. Are you done?
Guess it was like, 2015. Oh, and then I started doing Meow Mix at the Stead, rest in peace. Like, I never thought I'd be telling stories of like, oh, this place that doesn't exist anymore. But now we're at that place where the Stead currently, maybe this is a good segue into what you're trying to do with Counterpulse in the Stead. But the Stead is also like where I did my first drag ever. So another full circle 180, 360 moment over to you, Stud Queen.
Stunt queen.
Stunt queen.
I started drag in 2012, and I was doing it in my little liberal arts college in Yonkers. Shouts out to SLC Sarah Lawrence. I survived, just like the Hulu documentary. And I moved to California in 2015. Which is where I met Beatrix LaHaine on the couch of our mutual family member, Terry Twatwaffle, also rest in peace. And yeah, we were just
Did they die?
No.
No, she's in Chicago. She's a real estate agent now.
Okay.
Too soon.
I'm like, oh.
Might as well be. But Terry was your drag mother and my drag sister through longer time. And Terry and I started hosting a party together called Daughter at Oasis, which was sort of the opening show to Mother once a month. And it was like the amateur hour show. And so that turned into like the Queens of 2015, which became like a yearly annual showcase. And that's how I just sort of like immediately. Terry was really, how do I say this nicely? Not funny. And so she needed someone on the mic. And so that's how I ended up hosting that.
And you were the
with
funny
her.
one.
And I'm, canonically hilarious. So.
Comedy queen.
Yeah. Stunt queen, comedy queen. I'm a triple threat. I have a knife. And yeah, sort of just fell into hosting parties that way.
Cute. So just to get to know you two a little more, how would you characterize your drag persona? Like camp queen, or you hate, or are there any labels you subscribe to? But also, do you have like drag idols, like people you looked up to when you started doing drag?
I would say we're both like dancing divas. Dancing dolls.
The dancing dolls of Oaklash.
I don't know. I think I fall in the realm of like drag terrorism. Like I think what really interests me is like, I know I probably shouldn't say this like before we do Oaklash, but I think I fall in the camp of like the Christines of the world, like people who really just like take an audience and just like want to like fuck with them. So more than like comedy, I think I'm just interested in like pissing people off, and that's what Mama Celeste does best.
Nice. So you work for Counterpose, and that's like an art space. Like, do you feel like your drag is very arty, or is that your approach when you say kind of like, terrorism? Like you wanna
Is that your
you wanna
approach to
move you wanna
terrorism?
move the audience in a certain way?
No, it's on terrorism.
No, I mean, I think I definitely like studied like the performance art world before I even became a drag performer.
Yeah.
I definitely like, was doing like gender studies, art history, and so like came into my understanding of performance that way for sure. The Vaginal Cream Davises of the world. But no. I think like being a drag queen now is so different than what being a drag performer was then. So I feel like I'm still like a post Drag Race baby as well.
You are obviously a beauty influencer. You look stunning.
I would say Beatrix is the one that's going to make us all the money at Oaklash, because we're going to start a hip dot palette,
Color
and
pop dot.
that's how we're finally going to start making money with Oaklash.
Yeah.
The key is vertical integration. We need to like start making stuff in the kitchen. But yeah, yes. Oh well, the question was influences and what kind of queen you are. You kind of stole my answer. You said pissing people off, and I do that just like by being on stage on a microphone, just like saying hi, how are you? I think we're like the two people that piss people off.
That's the Oaklash.
Yeah.
That literally is the Oaklash.
You're literally one of my favorite hosts of all time. You're just so funny, and I'm sad that Tragic Queendom took such a long break, but I'm like so elated that it's back, because watching you on the mic, swing the mic, be with the mic is really a treat. What was the drag scene like when you started? I think you kind of like already touched upon it, but like what were the parties that were going on? What were some of your favorite shows? Where did you go to immerse yourself in the scene?
I went to Meow Mix because that was like the first, actually weirdly, okay, so again, going back to like meeting the Radical Fairies, going to like my first ever Fairy Freedom Village, which was like the thing outside of Pride that was like anti-capitalist, so you didn't have to pay, you can like go in, get free alcohol and just like suck dick in public or whatever. I went there and I saw Hollow Eve as like my first ever local performer, and they were doing Bjork. Like how Hollow Eve would do Bjork, and so like I was high out of my mind, and I was just like so like like that. It was such a religious experience. And then a few weeks later I went to Meow Mix for the first time, and I saw them. It's like, that's that performer, that's And
Bjork!
Then, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Bjork. And then afterwards, during intermission, I went up to them and I was like, I saw you at, Fairy Freedom Village, and you're like one of the greatest performers I've ever seen. And I fangirled Hollow before Hollow was Hollow now. And yeah. That Meow-Mix was like pretty much the only thing I was doing party-wise.
So, where was Meow-Mix? Is Meow-Mix the name of the party?
You weren't around those days, right?
No, I was taking a hiatus from going out probably around then. But where was that?
At the Stud.
At the Stud. Okay, cute.
That was like their Tuesday night party.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so like you were at the Stud Tuesday
Okay.
nights, and I was on Charlie's on Tuesday nights with
Okay.
like Nikki Jizz.
Yeah, that was High
Fietta,
Fantasy.
That was High Fantasy.
So Meow-Mix was probably what took over T-Shack, because I know those were on
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay, so competing parties. What was High Fantasy like?
I mean, like, look at everybody now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fucking, like, everybody who was just a little baby something back then, like, is now fucking running the scene. So,
Like who?
like Nikki, like Princess Pinocha, Pepto Dismal, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Just Foster.
Foster.
Just Foster.
Yeah, Silky and Brittany, who
Mm-hmm.
now run Angels, which is sort of the thing that's taken over for High Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was just like all these like art cool kids out on a Tuesday night.
Was that your go-to spot?
Definitely on a Tuesday. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I moved to the city, I just basically wanted to make friends, which is why I started doing drag and just like showing up and pulling a look and thinking we were cool. I also remember back then that was like the reign of like Abominatrix and Sheelix and Creme Fatale, who were like the club kids that everyone was like really aspiring to. So there was definitely like a whole different like pantheon of people than there is like. How many years later is this than 2015?
Oh, I don't know.
7?
Don't
Like
ask me. I'm
it's-
not a math queen. So these were the parties you were going to. How did you eventually get into producing shows? Because I know you've all kind of had a number of shows under your belt, or one flagship show. Or
I started Tragic Queendom because I did not want to go into SF like on a weeknight. Like I remember being so dedicated to like performing there that I would like go there on a Tuesday night, stay until close at 2, and then my broke ass, even before Uber, was taking the late night bus across the bridge, waiting for the other late night bus to take me back to my place, getting home at 4, sleeping 2 hours, and then going to work. And then eventually I got fired because I was just going into work like covered in like messy eyeshadow and glitter, and basically they were being homophobic. So if they're watching this,
How was that?
call him
different from
Doc.
what you
Yeah,
do now?
exactly. Oh, who are you working for?
a
shame 'em.
queer salon that fired me for homophobia.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
Controversial.
But they're out of business now, so I guess I won.
Wow, so many things have gone out of business or like moved on from drag. It sounds like you're, I don't know, like a horseman of the apocalypse, death or something.
But if I wasn't fired, I wouldn't have started Tragic Queendom, and then could you imagine what multiverse would look like if like TQ never happened?
Oh my god, I wouldn't exist without TQ, that's for sure.
I'm gonna add a little cue to that scene from The Simpsons where he's like, "Imagine a world without lawyers."
And then everybody's just like so
Everyone's
happy.
dancing.
Everybody's like, Corona never happened.
Corona
because
never
Tragic
happened.
Queendom
Oh my
never
god.
existed.
So one of my last like live gigs was Tragic Queendom. And it was like on the onset of the coronavirus. And I remember doing like a number that was just like where like I was like wearing a mask, but it wasn't really a mask. And I was just like, oh, this isn't really gonna be like a problem.
Like this.
And it was
Yeah.
like so embarrassing. I was like, oh my god, that number did not age well. That was really inappropriate.
Back in the like Corona, like the beer, like that era.
Yeah, that era. How about you? How did you get into producing?
Well, like I said, I started hosting parties just because people in San Francisco aren't funny. And that party at Oasis turned into club. I started hosting Club Poppers when I moved out to Oakland.
Yes.
Which was like an amateur drag night, another amateur drag night. where you just popped up and it was a tip spot, and it was really for like people who had other gigs that night and wanted to make like another like $50 and would just like come and bring the same track from their gig before. And it was a party, it was a turnout, and we posted that at like different venues all throughout Oakland. And then I got really sick of doing amateur parties, if I'm honest, and that's when I started doing Gorgeous. Gorgeous was a party that I threw with my drag daughter Evian, and Jeffrey Shao, who's still our stage manager for Oaklash. And the idea was really that we just wanted to have like theme nights that were really about like an aesthetic, like an aesthetic theme rather than like a conceptual theme. And they were these beautiful parties that nobody attended, and
they were really beautiful. I kind of felt like it would have taken off at some point had, you know.
Yeah, talk about our
Tragic Queendom never started.
Tragic Queendom. Actually, the real tea is that it started the same night as Princess. Florida and Tito were doing Princess at the Stud, literally the same night that Gorgeous started. So they won, and they stole Evian from me. So
that's true, they did.
Oh, also like in another multiverse, Gorgeous is at Oasis every Saturday night.
Oh my God, that would be so wild.
Heklina's rolling in her grave.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
What is this beef you have with Heklina? I want to know.
Oh, we're going there?
No, we don't have to go there. That's okay. You brought her up.
I don't think we can go there.
Okay, we won't go there.
Weird story though. I'm probably one of the only people that's never met Heklina.
What?
I don't think I've met Heklina ever.
How?
So like.
Yeah, how did you not meet her?
I know.
Explain yourself.
Because I'm a top two, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Heklina avoided you. She would hide behind a wall every time you approached.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's that one.
It's
No.
that one. I thought we fired her from that queer salon.
In a world without Tragic Queendom, she would have not known where to avoid you and would have met you and would have died even earlier.
I would have been at Oasis. I don't know. I feel like we're mixing up multiverses. I'm like thinking like, oh, I would have had the weekly party at Oasis if I never started TQ. No, I think I would have just been like an OnlyFans fisting gay. I think I would have had like a giant prolapse if I hadn't started doing drag.
What was the climate like when you started doing drag? It sounded like you really found your niches, which is really cool. But did you feel like drag as a whole in the Bay Area? What was the vibe, I guess?
Wait, what year did you start? Because you're acting like we're really old.
Oh, I know. I mean, I started late 2017, early 2018.
Okay.
2018 is when I started actually doing gigs. 2017 was when I started playing with makeup. I mean, I've always had an interest in drag. And actually, when I graduated from college, like I spent, you know, my 21, 22, 23 years going to the Stud. And then I got a DOI, and then I stopped going out to like work on myself. So I mean, when I came in, it's like you two were pretty established already. So I do kind of look at you as like drag elders.
You're literally older than both of us.
I'm literally older than most people. I'm like 10 years older than Militia or something insane like that. Yes, I am old. But I like that. I like that about me.
I mean, it's not like there wasn't stuff happening in Oakland, but Tragic Queendom was definitely the first thing that I went to in Oakland, like the first drag show that I went to out here, and like wasn't living in Oakland at the time. Like came from San Francisco to go see your show. I
remember. Oh my gosh, yeah, you were a city queen.
Yeah,
and I remember, starting like Tragic Queendom because I'm like, okay, like it was really just like a anxious thing of like I feel like it was at the peak of like gentrification, so I'm like being evicted from this place. I'm moving further away from where I am now. I want to like do something in Oakland to like really just like I did this. This is my hometown. I wanted to do something to like have like some sense of home still in my hometown. So that happened. But even before then, I was like I had no concept of like doing drag as like a weekly whatever kind of thing. I was like, okay, I have a few numbers in my head. I'm going to get them out and just, be done with it. But I keep like finding reasons to like stay and do it.
I will say that the chutzpah of like getting your act together and like getting a show off the ground is like, it's crazy hard, and it takes a lot of courage. And what was wild is that, like, you're beautiful and gorgeous now. I call you the influencer because you actually are a very gifted makeup artist.
But
it was not always this way.
Not at all.
And you
Tinkerbell era.
had a show way before you
Being
dialed in
beautiful.
your makeup,
Yeah.
which is like wild to me. So it's just like that drive to like, oh, you need to produce. I need to produce. Like seemed stronger than like, hey, I need to work on my makeup.
wow.
That's
You're not
fair.
wrong.
I mean, it's a compliment ultimately, honestly.
We
Yeah.
switched. Now I'm the bearded beauty. Tinkerbell was a bearded queen.
Period.
Yeah.
The Summerlin Spears of 2015.
Kind of. I mean, like, honestly, Summerlin Spears is giving me Beatrix LaHaine vibes. It's just like, you have a show.
Good for you.
Good for you. That's good. Okay.
And that's the weird thing. No, well, when
I don't know
I
what
did
that
it,
is.
I
Yeah.
did not. I was like, okay, I just wanted to do this one show. Because I remember just like there being a whole bunch of Madonna and Grace Jones nights. I guess because Grace Jones was like coming into town, so I saw a whole bunch of themes. I'm like, you know what? I don't see like a Gwen Stefani show, so that was like,
Because representation matters.
I know our Latinx
Yeah, our Latinx queen, Hindi queen,
everyone.
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to take a short break. And then when we come back, we're going to get deeper into this Oaklash water pool river situation. I'm really bad with my metaphors. I swear to God, I used to be smart and
Are you a
creative.
poet?
Supposedly. Welcome back, cow crumbs. I don't know.
What was that one?
I was trying to do like a Orville Peck thing. I don't know. We went Western. We got Taylor Swift, Orville Peck, and Shania Twain. Man, I feel like a woman. Oh, we can't do that. We got to take that out. We're going to get flagged by the algorithm.
I think that one's going to be okay.
That one's going to pass. Are you calling me tone deaf? That's fine. Okay, we left off on you two producing your own shows or producing shows, dipping your waters. I will say both of your shows, Tragic Queendom and Gorgeous, were pretty iconic. Are still iconic because Tragic Queendom's back, thank God.
It's back.
I do want to say, like, I wouldn't be where I am without Tragic Queendom. It really was kind of like is a space for me to grow. Was a space for me to grow. You booked me for like an anniversary show, not knowing who I was, but based on kind of like a relationship or a friendship I had with one of your drag daughters, and I was forever grateful because like if I didn't do that show, like I don't think I would be Phoebe. So thank you for giving me that opportunity.
And like you and like Lisa.
Lisa,
and, like, so many people started there
Kachina was performing there a lot. I don't think, she started there. But I mean, yeah, totally. Mona Roll.
Yes.
Hello.
The Mona Roll.
The Mona Roll.
Scarlet Letters.
Scarlet Letters.
Notoriously started at Tragic Queendom.
My daughter, Scarlet Letters.
You're so nice. It's so nice of you to style all those wigs for Scarlet.
Period.
Um,
It's weird. No, I sometimes have like I guess imposter syndrome complex of like when people like reach out to do my show, it's like, huh? What? You like not in like a who are you, but more like you want to do my show? mostly it's because I like, I'm always caught off guard when people are like, yeah, can I do this? It's like, huh? You like my show? So it's like, yeah. And then years later, I'm like, oh my gosh, Phoebe Cakes, Lisa Frankenstein, Mona Roll, Dancing Diva Doll.
You really need to book her.
Yeah. Oh, Mona, I know you're hearing this. Reach out to me. Let's do it.
I really do want to do like a comeback pageant. Mona Roll needs to be in it.
Terry Twat Waffle.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably
there you
not.
go.
No, please, no.
Get out of real estate, please. But gorgeous too. I mean, I feel like really it would be a different world if like COVID didn't happen, obviously. But I think like Gorgeous had the potential to be like one of those really cool parties, and I feel like part of it lives on in Princess a little bit.
You're welcome.
I will say that.
Tito Soto, where's my 10%
check.
check?
Yeah,
Mama Celeste's drag daughter, Tito Soto.
How did you two find each other? You said that you went to a Tragic Queendom, but like, how did you find each other and connect and say, hey, let's do this thing, Oaklash?
You have a certain story. I remember you said you came to a Tragic Queendom and were like, do you like during intermission or something, it's like, hey, do you want to start a drag festival? I remember being at the Stud and we were like both drunk and you're like, hey, how do you feel about doing a drag festival? So like either way, like
We were definitely drunk.
yeah.
It was definitely a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it anyway. I don't remember. I was sort of saying this to a lot of people, like, because I came from New York, right? Like, I was seeing, like, Bushwig there. And basically it was like, I had just moved to Oakland. I was like, Oakland's fucking cool.
Oh, we gotta take a quick break. Welcome back. That was weird. Oh my god. Be a patron. Help us make sure that never happens again, so we could buy like a dummy battery or something, so that we could have continuous power to our new camera that Angel and Thayer and myself bought. Thank you so much. So grateful for that.
Level up.
We're leveling up, and we left off on you talking about Bushwig. How did that come up again? Oh my god.
Sister Festival.
Goldfish. Sister Festival.
Sister Festival, but also we fully stole their idea. I definitely like called Horchata like after the first Oaklash, after like just doing it, and we like had a good conversation, and she's coming to Oaklash this year finally. So yeah, Sister Festival for sure. But no, I was a little baby queen, like little super fan of drag when I lived in New York. Like I was kind of performing, or I was like pulling looks but not performing, just like going out and getting drunk.
Yeah.
Because I was 19 years old and I just wanted to go get drunk. And that was how they fucking put themselves on the map out there. Like, that was how, like, again, not that there was nothing happening in Brooklyn, but, like, Brooklyn wasn't Brooklyn until Bushwig. And so I had just moved to Oakland, and I just moved to Oaklash. I had just moved to Oakland. Beatrix was throwing this sickening party. I was like, you are doing something that nobody else in the Bay Area is doing. Like, this is a totally different thing. Like, and this needs to, like, be the center of drag. Like, San Francisco's been the center of drag for so long. We're trying to change that narrative because so many of us live out here, live in Oakland, and have to go to San Francisco to work. So there's, like, all of these amazing Bay Area performers who put San Francisco by their name just because Oakland's not known as, like, a drag city. And so we're here in Oakland right now. Like, this is all coming from the East Bay.
Don't tell them where we live.
Oh,
That's right.
From Hayward, San Lorenzo, and I literally said this to everybody. Like, Oakland needs a drag festival, and multiple people were like, "Girl, there's no drag in Oakland."
Boo! Who said that? Oh, sorry.
Name names.
I got emotional.
You know what I love about this podcast is that you really ask those questions, but I don't have to answer them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Or people were like, you know, like, you can't do a party without whatever. Like,
Terry Twat Waffle.
Yeah, you can't do a party in Oakland without Terry Twat Waffle. So, we just fucking did it, and B was the only person that said yes, and B had this, like...
Did you ask Ava Lachey first?
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I floated this idea by a lot of people, and everyone was like, meh. And then...
Wow.
Not that you weren't my first ask.
Well, I love that.
You're my last option.
But no, but the
option.
thing that I do is I like basically just like throw spaghetti at the wall. Like that is the Mama Celeste brand, and so like I was just seeing who it stuck with, and B was down, and B was like, let's
I know
fucking
exactly
do it.
where to do it. I know where to get the money. I know what to call it. We like came up with.
Yeah, how'd you come up with Oaklash?
I said it as a joke.
Because of Bushwig.
Yeah.
We were like making
like
it was like on our list.
It's better than Bushwig.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same as Bushwig.
It's the same.
It's the same.
In my Crumble opinion, come on. You just stole from the Chicago girls. It's all the same. Okay. And that's fine.
I know Phoebe well enough that she had no idea about that show at the time that she named this one. I did, and I didn't say anything.
I'll just say nothing in drag is original.
No, absolutely
so
not.
you might as well steal it.
But Oaklash was a joke, and then I was at the meeting for my other nonprofit. Just like I knew that's where we were going to get the money, and I was like bored. Like I'm bored at like every meeting I ever attend.
Like this one.
She can attest to it. Like I'm just like coming up with ideas. Like I was writing on a coffee sleeve, which I have in my altar. It'll be worth like at least $10,000 in like 10 years. The original.
Did you watch Glass
Oaklash,
Onion? Is that why you said
that?
Yeah.
Well, no.
The envelope.
It's very that. Honestly, I came up with like the logo of the name of Oaklash. I texted it to her, and she's like, she did her Photoshop magic, and that's the logo that we use like every single year for everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was really a terrible idea, and we just did it. Because that's how you do stuff in drag is you just fucking do it.
What was the first year producing Oaklash like versus the second year? Like, what were the kinks that you had to like work out? You know.
Everyone was mad at us.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Who?
People were.
Well,
Sorry.
Well, I think people were mad that we were starting a festival. And it's like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, I remember Miles Cooper. Miles Cooper? Is that his name? From on Charlie's. Again, the party that I started at was like, so you can just call anything a festival. And like literally.
What? Were they serious?
I think so. It was like, because it wasn't. It was like a 6-hour show, basically. Like, it was a 6-hour show. We called it a festival. It's basically just like this like marketing ploy. It wasn't what it is now, like, for sure.
I don't know. I was there. It felt festival-like.
It was
like multiple days. It was like a whole space.
Well, that was year 2.
Was that year 2?
First day was literally just a 6-hour show, like a nonstop 6-hour show. We started by booking the people who we thought were the most sickening at the time, who were throwing parties that we thought would bring people to our party.
Okay.
And so that was like,
I guess it was one day. I don't really remember.
Hoa's Life.
Yeah.
Toy Box or Miss Monroe?
You did. Woo Woo had a.
Woo and Monroe.
Started out at Oaklash.
Yeah. Started at Oaklash. Yeah.
I found out recently that I've been blacklisted from Renegade.
Great. So we're next.
Yeah. I was like, Woo, you'd be nothing without Oaklash.
I'm circumcised, so I'm good. Jewish princesses only. And yeah, basically, like, we did just book our friends the first year. Like, that's tea, and that's how anybody books their first party, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Like, and I think we did a really good job of taking that feedback from year 1 and like
we still had people hating us even more the next year,
and literally we like had a whole like curatorial process. We like came up with like equity guiding principles. We did the whole thing, and people were even more pissed the next year and even more pissed the next year. So
yeah,
there's no winning. And
okay, well that was gonna be like one of my future questions, but since you brought it up, well, this is an opportunity. What are your curatorial practices? Like, how do people get chosen? People get salty about it, you know, but I mean, obviously you're doing the best you can.
Yeah, I mean, I think that first year was the blueprint. It's like, we actually don't pick most of the people who get booked at Oaklash. We pick the curators who pick the people who get booked at Oaklash. So this year we picked you because we think you're sickening and you're doing this and you're doing amazing things. Aww. We picked Obsidian Absurd because they're like on some next level shit with drag right now. Who else is hosting this year?
Major Hammy.
Major Hammy, who's just major all around.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hota Mercury, Narkijaz, and that was our curatorial group this year. And Cochina, who curated Backlash, which is our like queer music night.
Yeah. I mean, I finally got to pick behind the curtain, see how the machine works. Peek behind the curtain. So
Behind
knowing how curating the show works, I'm like gagged and like so honored that I was chosen, however many times to like do this festival. Because it's hard to choose, and it's like it's a labor, and people's feeling, you can't choose everybody.
And you're allowed to be butthurt. I'll say that too.
Yeah.
Like we know that it sucks. We hate doing it. We hate sending out the rejection letters. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I think the like big year that we got a lot of pushback was like the first year of the digital pandemic era. Because people normally don't get booked, and then they like go to the club and then they drink about it and then they scream about it there and then they get out of their system. And the year that everyone was like really griping about it online was when nobody had the opportunity to do that, and everyone was just sitting on their computers and typing out their feelings without thinking about it. So you're allowed to be butthurt. It does suck. If you're a white person, you are never going to be the first person prioritized to be part of Oaklash.
Well, are we allowed? Can the viewers know what your guiding principles are?
Yeah. The first one is equity, so making sure that there's people represented from all different types of communities. The second one is variety, which just means we want to make sure that we have like drag kings, drag queens, drag things, music acts, dancers, all sorts of different types of performers. And then the third one is subjective opinion, because this is art, and what did the Boulets say?
Angel does a really good impression.
Hello, ugly.
Do the speech.
That was the worst one.
That was the worst one. Yeah.
Subjective.
What is it that they say?
That's like drag is art, and art is subjective.
We're not here to drag. We're not here to.
We're not here to drag.
We got it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. Where were we?
Our guiding principles for
your guiding
booking.
principles, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna snowball on top of that. Mine, and I feel like it's not that difficult to like looking at the lineup. It just kind of like feels like instinctual. It's like I see the pieces of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess mine is always like cis, white, gay.
That's who you choose?
No. I have my one diversity.
She had her way.
No.
You said on the last on the one with Obsidian that Oaklash was about canceling white people this year, but I don't know how that's possible if Beatrix LaHaine is still here.
Still here. Yeah.
I'm competing with House of Cakes.
Our premier.
I chose one white person, and that was Florida Man.
She's Cuban. No,
that's
Puerto
true.
Rican. I don't know.
Wow.
I actually had to like explain to a person, and she's like, like anyone can be white. Teenage people can be white. Okay.
Thank you, by the way, for letting me be the third Jewish person on your.
That's true. You are the third Jewish person to be on the podcast.
Circumcision representation.
That's another diverse. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on our questionnaire.
Yeah.
Are you circumcised?
Are you circumcised? Not circumcised.
That's why we just like went up in arms. What the fuck?
Yeah. You brought up feelings kind of bubbling up during the curatorial process, especially during the pandemic era, or that first Oaklash during the pandemic. How did Oaklash change from going live to like the first pandemic one? And then we're now in our fourth pandemic one. It's crazy. Third?
I guess it would be the fourth.
Fourth one, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it was so different and obviously very fraught for people. But how was it producing that version of Oaklash?
I remember just like the elements like literally working against us in 2020.
Oh my God.
Hottest day like I have ever felt in my entire life.
Computers literally melting.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you two live.
Yeah. No, my makeup went...
melting.
Yeah. I knew I was an influencer after that day. I was like melting, but like my beat stayed on. But it was like the moment I got out of the car, I was like immediately sweating. And then I just saw the computers melting. I don't know how we did it.
We didn't. We moved to Zoom.
Yeah.
But that was also like the year of like Lisa Frankenstein eating the pancakes at 10 a.m. Like there was some iconic shit that happened. And we did like that Take Over a Bitch Pudding show that Nikki co-hosted. Like there was some really iconic stuff that happened that first Oaklash for sure.
I just have to say I experienced that Lisa Frankenstein moment like I think the way it was supposed to be experienced, where I like was watching it at 2 a.m. post whatever last Oaklash show that it followed, fell asleep with the laptop open,
and
wake
she was
up
still there
9 hours later, and I'm like, what's that noise? And she was still going.
She was still eating
like a spiritual
pancakes.
experience.
A real trooper. Yeah, that one was just like, I mean, there was so much cool shit that did happen during the digital era.
Yeah.
So like, I'm really glad that Oaklash was able to like provide some of those really like critical digital drag moments. Like there was some fucking cool shit that happened even when we were like live streaming from Oasis, and like we were the only people who saw that live. But like 2021 was an incredible show.
That was incredible. I do want to zero in on that one because like that was.
We figured
insane.
it out.
You figured it
We had
out.
fully,
like the moving
wrong.
parts, showing up to the gig, watching that kind of like evolve from whatever happened the prior year to that year. It was, I mean, it was like what I imagine the newsroom is like. I don't know. It was like, it was wild.
And you got like 20 whole Twitch viewers.
Yeah.
That part, yeah.
We broke records.
20.
Was it really that? Was it really
was
20 people?
265,000, just to put that number out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, over the 2 years.
Yeah, but how did you figure it out? Because like
we failed. We failed so hard the first year that we figured it out year 2, and that's like always the MO. It's like don't stop, keep going, learn, adapt, like get better, like we only started working with ASL interpreters because of the digital drag era, which is the only reason we're doing the accessibility work that we're doing now, which is the only reason we have the disability grant that Oaklash is working on now. Yeah. So like all of that came from the digital era. No regrets. It was like not ideal, but we like powered the fuck through it. So
how did you're only 2 people. Like how did you assemble the team? It was like camera people, lights, the venue, streaming, Twitch. Like, there were so many moving parts. I couldn't even wrap myself in my head around it, you know?
I think that's the beauty of, like, living in the Bay Area, where it's, like, a lot of techies who do drag, who know other techies who, like, do other stuff. And I don't know if we could, like, have done that anywhere else. But, like, yeah, we were lucky to be here.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why we settled on Oasis for that second year, is because Oasis was already doing so much, and like we brought in Florida Man, who like has this huge tech background. That was the year that we hired Lorraine for the first time, which like really like let me like have more fun at Oaklash than I've ever had before. Lorraine takes care of all the like day of responsibilities.
We love Lorraine here.
Lorraine was birthed at Oaklash,
sponsored by Lorraine, honestly, kind of.
Drag daughter Lorraine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do I get to claim her?
Yeah.
I think you should.
I think I do.
Do it before Snacks does.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got an amazing team. And yeah, it's the 2 of us, but it's also like 11 board members, like 12 staff people, 80 volunteers. Like it's a huge production now. So it's really, really blown the fuck up.
And I also want to say, like, I don't know, should we claim like, oh yeah, we did the first big thing at Oasis post quarantine.
I think you say post Clean Up.
What? No.
Gag. That was solidly mid quarantine.
Mid quarantine.
What?
Also, they raised like $250,000
true.
like the week before we did.
I was like trying to claim.
So oh my god, that telethon was insane.
We were like, I was like desperately begging, like on my knees, to like get to $20,000 by the end of that one, just to break even. No, they definitely are doing big shit at Oasis.
I was just trying to like claim we broke records. We had 20 followers on Twitch. We had the first ever drag festival in the universe before Bushwick.
Well, that 2021 Oaklash had like the highlight of the year for me, which was Beverly Chills and Gia hosting.
Oh my god. That was wild.
It was great.
I thought I was, I always try and like outdo 2019 in some kind of way, but that I think outdid 2019 Beatrix in a mosh pit. What was it? Stage dive.
Stage dive, for
I think
sure.
that topped that.
Snacks and Beatrix together hosting that one part of Oaklash that year was also really great. Oh my god.
Yeah, you and Snacks should have a podcast.
I know in a multiverse we would have been my Crumble opinion.
in my tragic Snacks.
Yeah.
What is the hardest part about producing Oaklash?
I want to say, and this is not to say I didn't enjoy Oaklash, but like being in the moment.
For sure.
Like previous ones, like...
This is how brides talk about their wedding.
Right?
It is. That was advice that I got year one, that like, this is a wedding. Like, think of it that way. Like, all of your worlds are converging in one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree 100%.
I thought like last year was going to be like, okay, we're aware of this. We can like do this. But like it happened so fast that I was like, wait, it's over. I have COVID now. Like I was the only person that entire weekend. And we were like in the after Kiki room, like in the hotel room till like 7 a.m. Doing stuff. But like I was the only one at Oaklash who got COVID. So
you got it from somewhere.
I know.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I like get to see maybe 3 performances a year. Like I'm usually running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And so again, that's like where Lorraine has been such like a godsend for me, is like Lorraine is that person now. It's like literally Beatrix and I's job to like be having the most fun of our lives at this party that we spend like 6 months planning. And it's somebody else's responsibility to deal with all the fires that need to get put out and all the chaos and all the fucking drag performers who don't send in their tracks on time. And like we aren't responsible for any of that. And so that's been like the total game changed of the last few years.
No, me. I don't
send
my
that's
track
you.
in on
I thought you were funny. I was like, I literally, yeah. I owe you a track for something.
That's true.
Well, why don't we take a quick break, but before we do, I don't know if you're able to do this, but if you could like maybe just like run through the years and just like name a number or a moment that stands out, like a highlight from each year or something.
Not me.
I was gonna do that later. You stepped on my toes. That's fine. Let's do it now.
Wait, can we have like 2? This is like the this is the runner up to the best.
Well, first of all, it's like you didn't. This just shows to me you didn't even read like the list of questions that I wrote out to you.
No,
because like that's like
prepared them for you.
We'll be right back.
We're gonna be right back. We're actually gonna take our break right now, and then we're gonna go back later. This is just like 2020 all over again.
Truly.
Queers on Dice is a wild, campy, tabletop role-playing actual play podcast starring queer Bay Area performers. You can find us on every major podcast network as Queers on Dice. Please give us a listen, and if you want to be a part of our creative journey, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/queersondice.
It's a fucking dragon! I'm sorry, Captain. Was that a below job or blow job?
We're gay. Do you get it?
Did you figure that out yet?
Welcome back to In My Crumble Opinion. Angel and I did some processing off screen, and we're no longer mad at each other, even though they don't read any of the prep questions that I put forth. And
I'm cutting
disrupt
all
the
of
flow.
this out. None of this is going to be.
Repression is a wonderful thing,
Okay,
Phoebe.
so we left off on talking about the hardest part of doing the... I almost said pageant. Doing the festival is... You said being in the moment. You agree?
I agree. The other thing that I will say is getting funding for drag is really fucking hard.
I bet. But that's what you do full time, right?
But that
You're
is
like development?
Well, no, I'm the communications person at Comic Pulse.
Yeah.
So I just make drag seem like an art, and then other people write the grants for me. But yeah. Trying to convince people to give money to drag is really, really unfortunately a task. People think that it's this low art. You were kind of talking about this with Obsidian too. Like it's like nightlife performance is not gonna ever get the same kind of resources that like, you know, what happens on a theater stage or
duct taping a banana to the wall or
yeah, nobody's paying for bananas at the prices. What's a banana cost? Like $10,000 these days?
$125,000.
Well, that's what you should be tipping your drag performers. As much as you'll pay for a banana is what you should pay for one drag performer, and that's how much we pay for
one
each
banana
person
a day
at Oaklash.
can keep a drag performer fed.
Honestly, potassium is probably one of the nutrients I'm lacking the most
Same.
as a drag
Those
performer.
poppers are like really draining on like all my muscles. I need that potassium.
Speaking of raising money for Oaklash, though, one of the sponsors is here.
Oh yeah, the sponsor is in the room. Flying Embers. We actually paid for these, so you didn't sponsor this particular ember. This particular can, but we do appreciate.
I love that drink.
Oh, I love it.
That margarita,
Yeah,
black
it is
orange pomegranate.
Yeah, fuck Nova. This is better. Just kidding. I actually love Nova. Nova, if you want to be a sponsor of In My Crumble Opinion, please. I want to stop drinking Flying Embers. I'm kidding.
She's kidding. She's kidding.
I'm kidding.
She's kidding.
Oh my god. I don't know how to be a sponsor.
You're not doing great. Yeah, I think like maybe like because of pride and things like that.
Yeah.
I think corporations are more used to sponsoring drag events like ours. So yeah, huge shout out to our corporate sponsors, and we do get grant funding. I mean, there's lots of amazing like arts organizations in the Bay Area who do really support drag.
Where does individual donations fall into how much it helps the festival go forward?
Every dollar counts. Baby.
Every dollar counts?
Every dollar
okay,
counts.
can you do your pitch right now?
Yeah, every dollar counts. You today, you for the price of one banana could come to a drag show in Oakland. Literally, our like weekend pass was like $50 for this year, which is what like a tenth of a Beyonce ticket.
Okay, yeah.
And who knows?
And and she's gonna be there.
Beyonce's gonna be there.
Did you say Bianca?
Bianca
Bianca
Del Rio. I think even Bianca's like out of our
Bianca.
Well, if those are the hardest parts about producing the show, what are your favorite parts about producing the show? Or what are the best parts?
I mean, I've had people say to me, Princess Pinocha once said to me that she was going to move to Chicago until the first Oaklash happened, and then she decided that she was going to stay in the Bay. And like when I hear shit like that, like that's like the shit that I'm really doing this for, is like I want to keep performers in the Bay Area. I want to.
So it's your fault.
So
it's your fault.
She said that to me the second Oaklash.
She says it every time because it's true. And she's always trying to move to Chicago, and then she always goes to Oaklash. She's hosting her after party this year.
Chicago's fun.
Chicago is fun.
I've never been to like market days or anything, but Chicago looks like such a fun city. But
they have great podcasts.
But I hate winter. Like it is so like I don't think I would ever do that. Like just because of the winter.
They also don't have a drag festival.
Well, they have a lot of fisting bottoms. Like I check my like scruff.
Okay, Terry Twawful.
I am my mother's
Just
daughter.
go.
Yeah.
Second to SF.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. They have a lot of freaks there, and I love it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to move I'm going to give my Princess Pinocha a speech of like, I almost moved to the fisting capital of the country until Oaklash.
That's your multiverse, baby. You live
Wait,
in
so
it.
that's your favorite part about producing Oaklash because Pinocha stayed in the Bay? That's really terrible.
Specifically that. No, I think it's just like I want people to feel like there is something worth being a drag performer in the Bay Area for. Like there was not like a giant stage for drag the way that we have created, and so yeah, I'll take fucking credit for that. There was a very specific group of people who had been doing drag for a long time, and those people are still amazing. They're still here, and I want them to still be here, and I want to celebrate them in the Bay Area. But I also want to talk about what's next. I want to talk about the future of drag, and we're making it, and it's happening at Oaklash. May 19th through the 21st.
Wow. What's your favorite part?
Kind of the same thing, but like in a more internalized way of like, oh, like I consistently feel like Oakland, my hometown, born, raised, feels out of reach in a lot of ways. Like living so far, like close to Coliseum now, I'm like downtown feels like going to SF from downtown Oakland. So doing something in my hometown makes me feel like I've done, I don't know, like what I needed.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
Did the
what's
thing.
funny? What made me think like, oh, you actually accomplished that? Because like, I don't even think of it that way. Like a regional festival, like Oakland, and not including San Francisco. It's just like, I actually feel like Bay Area drag, the center of it is kind of Oaklash or Oakland, or like those boundaries don't even exist anymore to me.
Totally.
Like I don't think of like, oh, this is an Oakland festival versus a San Francisco festival. I actually think like it's the Bay Area festival.
Yeah.
So
True.
I just you did it.
Yeah, I mean, we want that, but we also want, again, to like decentralize the narrative that like drag in the Bay Area is about San Francisco. So that's also intentional that we like really only do our are ever going to do this festival in Oakland. So
Fuck yeah.
Or at Oasis if we...
or at Oasis if
we
there's
have
a
to. No, I love it.
Except for when you do it at Oasis, that's right.
Phoebe's busy eating her.
I'm so hungry.
What do you have for us?
But I keep eating my hair and fringe. So I'm like picking hair and fringe out of my mouth.
Where do those Milanos go?
They're really good. All right. Oh, we already talked about that, so we're just gonna go boop 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 boop.
Oh, favorite
There.
performances. Wait, is that at the very
Yeah,
end?
this is it. This is the big question.
No, don't ask the question until it's her turn.
Yeah.
Don't fucking-
Angel, what is it? We want Angel.
Well, I originally asked like, what's her favorite Oaklash memory? Angel has a really good version of this question.
Well, and I'm interested from all three of you, Phoebe as well.
Oh, okay.
But just kind of
Year by
standout
year.
moments from each year, because each year has been so different and has had its own flavor, up to last year being the first block party in Old Oakland, which is really cool. So what are some like standout memories of over the years of Oaklash?
I'll start because like Oaklash was kind of a formative memory for me, starting out in drag. I remember like I think either DMing you or whatever and going like, hey, is there a spot for me to like perform at Oaklash? And you're like, no, there isn't. It's already set up.
There's
It's
an
like,
application
this
form.
is me just like, okay, obviously that was a stupid question. Like there's a whole curatorial process. But me as a baby queen, I was just like, oh, it's happening for so many hours. There's a spot for me. But going there, it was just like really just kind of eye-opening. It was a great, beautiful experience. I don't think. Oh well, I'm supposed to like say my favorite moment.
Your
Were you
favorite
there
moment.
2018?
I was there 2018. Back then, there wasn't a House of Cakes. I was with a group of friends, and we were calling ourselves House Hornet.
Wait, I remember y'all. I remember you guys because were you an Angel? Did you have?
I was
You were an angel. Yep.
Yeah, I remember thinking that
I
like
think
who
it
is
was
this group of
2019,
people?
yes.
But I
Okay.
remember like a photo of you all. Like I didn't see you, but I remember seeing a photo of me and like these people are sickening.
Was this the same hat?
No.
No,
Okay.
but it was a similar hat. I wore
Yeah.
like a black hat, and I like put lights on it, and I was like, oh, I'm serving goth, like
This.
extravaganza,
Or
and I was
Peck
just like,
started his career right after he saw that photo.
yeah. And no, Angel, yeah, definitely. It was Angel was there, part of House Hornet. You know, it was. It was at Classic Cars West, and
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. They don't exist anymore. We're saying
they're-
rest in
they're-
peace a lot.
They're just a car dealership now. They're not. They moved out of that venue and now they're just a car dealership in Fruitvale.
Boring. Nobody in the
Wow.
Bay Area drives. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah.
Especially gay people.
Gay people.
Well, I can't pick a favorite moment, but I just remember this is a collider of all of the drag, because at that point like I hadn't seen like every single kind of performer in one space.
Totally.
You know? And we were going to Tragic Queendom and we were going to Ava's shows, and those were basically our touchstones for Bay Area drag at the moment, because we also didn't want to go over the bridge very often.
Fair.
And but then we just saw so much, and it was great.
My favorite 2018 memory was Hota Mercury, who also was not initially booked. Somebody dropped out. But everyone on our Facebook event, Hota had just won the Drag King of the Year pageant at Oasis. And so everyone, and Hota won by this, like, you should have them on their show to tell this story, but they won by this landslide.
Of course,
where they were not competing, but they did like the lip sync battle in the middle and they won anyway. And so everyone on Facebook was like, you have to book Hota Mercury. And so somebody dropped out, and Hota Mercury was the first person that I called, and they did this incredible number. They did their like sombrero, like pasty reveal. And I was shook. And it, again, like, they were not the first person that we booked, but they were like my favorite number of that day. So you never know.
Word.
Never know what's out there.
My favorite. See, yours are like so like emotionally like this person did this thing. Mine is
like the fisting bottom
yeah.
in the back room of the car dealership.
Phoebe Cakes brought that fisting bottom in the angel outfit.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
It was actually, and I still like idolize Creme Fatale because she's like the most beautiful person in our house. But like we never like actually hung out until like even then at Oaklash, it was kind of like, oh, you're doing your whole thing. I'm not gonna bother you. But she looks at me. It's like, I really love your makeup. You shaved your eyebrows, didn't you?
Oh, that's a real moment. That's actually like the best answer of the three.
That was the
that's
start
good.
of your makeup era.
Yeah, it was your makeup. Oh, where would we be without
Normani,
that comment?
you're next.
I know. No, but getting a compliment from her is like, oh, Creme Fatale likes my makeup. And that was like 2018, so that was still like a
And she was
struggle.
just,
Yeah,
Creme Fatale was only doing that for a $20 gig at the time, so you know that she meant it.
She meant it.
2019 was also at Classic Cars West.
Yep, yeah.
That's
It
right.
was,
Last
yes.
one.
Not on purpose. We had another venue, but their fire permits got canceled 2 weeks before our event, so we moved back to Classic Cars West, who, by some miracle, had that whole weekend open again.
They're like, we love you.
Yeah, that was pretty sickening.
Was that your favorite part?
I guess
that
so.
they opened
That-
up.
Yes.
the fact that,
Yeah.
the fact that year even happened. I think Meatball on the Lime scooter, she ran over a rat in the street. That was pretty hard to beat. That's the kind of shit that we do this for.
Oh, I
that
tried
moment.
though. No.
Yeah.
Didn't you ride a Lime scooter?
And
onto
Beatrix and I got married on stage for our performance.
Lime scooters were the zeitgeist.
Lime
at
scooters were definitely like new in the scene, the hot it girl on the scene. And B and I got married to a Hillary Duff song on stage, and then we scooted off, and I almost ran into Peaches Christ, who still to this day thinks that Beatrix and I are a couple.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, haven't told her otherwise.
Yeah. No, don't. I mean, keep it
Don't
going.
listen. She doesn't listen to that.
I mean, like, again, it's like I'm not producing the show, so my favorite memory was actually performing there. It was the first time I got to perform with.
What was your water number?
Yeah, with my water number, I did a mashup between Shallow and Dive in the Pool.
Yeah.
It was stupid in retrospect. We like watched it recently because we were like doing like a retrospective on like what are like drag numbers that were posted onto YouTube. And I was just like, oh, this is like actually not as sickening as I thought it was. I think maybe in the moment it was, but I was just like, oh yeah, pool noodles, like water.
But it was production value. And
It was production value.
It was a good.
It was a good number. It was good.
It was drag terrorism. You were
yeah.
like squirting the audience.
I was squirting the audience.
That's what they want.
It was my first drag performance with my daughter Beef, which was really cute. Yeah, no, people came up to me afterwards and it's just like, you really, it's like kind of like 3-dimensional, transformative. You know, it's like the biggest. I was like, oh, thanks. I tried.
You
yeah,
tried. That was
I tried. It was cute. I look at that video and I'm just like, wow, I was so skinny. I hate that. Okay, your turn.
We all were.
Showing my face with Milano.
Yeah, I know.
2019. From what I remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the crowd
year.
crowd diving one.
Yeah.
Face crack heard across the Bay Bridge.
That was also like my first ever like corset that I bought too, and I was also like very obviously drunk, but that was like the first time I like bought one that was like a size too small.
Oh God.
Like it.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like the moment it zipped up, it was one of those side zip up ones. It was like already tight, so like tying it felt like a gastric bypass, like right there. So,
Can you say that? No,
huh?
I think
Gastric
you get it,
bypass?
Yeah,
It's a
That's what's
procedure.
gonna get us canceled.
All of everything.
But that's not my favorite moment. Honestly, I don't like not intentionally blacking out at my own show. But yeah, talking to Peaches Christ, because like in retrospect, it's like, oh yeah, we booked Peaches Christ. Like not many people can say that.
Cried.
Yeah.
We definitely, B and I like sat in like a pile of money that Monday and like cried watching Peaches Christ say that Oaklash was the next big thing in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I love Peaches.
yeah. Like I remember we were at that coffee shop and just like seeing it, and like I was like welling up.
Yeah.
Hungover, welling up, and just like being like, we had Peaches Christ saying this. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Can we skip 2020? Because Lisa Frankenstein eating the pancakes. That was 2020.
Okay,
I'll just give
2020.
my one thing that sticks out for me from 2020. Watching it at 7th West, everyone melting. But watching Beverly inject
I cried.
Yes.
I'm gonna cry now.
on the stage.
Yeah.
was, like, really beautiful.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Yeah. Oh, I can't even like think of a memory better than that one.
That was really
honestly.
good, and that was really necessary.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time I seen her like since we were all allowed to like
Totally.
be
Yeah.
together. That also added to like the emotion of like, this is post quarantine. Blah, blah, blah. That was also the first time I ever saw Lotus Boy perform.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a moment. And then again, I'm being like, this is my influencer arc, because like it was so hot that day. I thought immediately when like I got out, it was like 110 degrees. I was immediately sweating, but like my beat stayed on the entire day.
Brag.
Brag.
I just wanted to,
Wow,
like,
what a good memory,
Yeah.
B.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Wow,
for you.
that's amazing.
We do have a documentary in the works that we've been filming since 2018, and I remember,
Wow.
I remember looking at my documentary and being like, "All right, you got it. Is this what you fucking wanted? This was the moment you were waiting for. The fucking thing. We got a global pandemic. My eyebrows are on my ankles. Like, you're fucking welcome."
That's amazing. Oh, I can't wait for the documentary.
Yeah, we're applying for grants. Make it happen.
Huge grants,
Huge
booked.
grants.
Flying Embers. Are you watching?
Embers,
Like,
sponsored by-
yeah.
And some kombucha.
Yeah.
That edit's gonna be so chaotic. It's just gonna be. It's not gonna be the
Me
fun
with
parts
an
of
ice pack.
Yeah, it's gonna be me screaming into the.
My
It's like,
favorite
I'm over
part
this.
was everyone being upset they weren't booked for Oaklash.
That
was
my
fun
year.
because like I like woke up to Facebook and like seeing a lot of outrage posts. I'm just like, what do all these outrage posts have in common? You know?
Ooh.
Did you sell shirts? Was the following year the first year that you sold
Yeah.
those shirts?
Yeah.
21 was the I didn't get booked for Oaklash t-shirt for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we stopped doing those because like nobody like it's such a if you know kind of joke
Yeah.
that people don't want to be like, what am I wearing?
We'll definitely be selling them at Oaklash. We did because we didn't sell them last year, but they do still exist and they will be for sale. 2021.
2021.
Phoebe's currently getting the fringe out of her mouth.
I am.
We're the hosts now. I'm the captain now. 2021 was the year that I didn't get booked for Oaklash t-shirt. What else happened that year?
Okay.
It was the
So
the
2021.
year.
Oasis.
I'll say just like walking in and just seeing what the production was because obviously we were enjoying the festival from home. We didn't know.
Yeah.
But like walking into Oasis, which is not in Oakland, but
Were you
whatever.
day 2? Is that why?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
We did Reparations Friday.
Yeah. That must have been it. Yeah. And just seeing like it definitely looked like a TV studio. It was just so impressive. I was just gobsmacked. And then I feel like it was just also really cool to see Florida Man in like this like I don't know, he looked like in a control center.
She was on
or
it
something.
that year. She was
Yeah.
really like.
That was her
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 20. I think maybe 2020 was the first year that we did our panels, again, because we were, like, filling time
Mm-hmm.
online. But 2021, I remember, like, Chucha did a really amazing panel about, like, Latinx drag performers. There was some really cool stuff that happened, like conversations that we hosted then. So that was really, like, we had sort of found our stride, I think, with a lot of things that year, but also with these, like, other programs that we do now. I think that was, like, 2021's peak for me.
I looked great that year. That was my favorite. No.
That's your real answer.
That's a real answer.
That's
No, I'm not going to name names, but I remember actually connecting with somebody who works in nightlife that I thought hated me for so long. So, like, in turn, I hated them for no good reason. You know who it is.
Okay,
don't.
got it. Yeah.
But,
Okay.
like, oh,
Wait, what? Why does anybody ever want to say names on the show? Just say it. Like, we've already
Mama
moved.
Celeste.
You've
She was talking
already
about
moved past
me.
the trauma. You're already friends. So whatever. It was a real thing. It was a real thing, and now you're friends. So it's fine.
let's
Who
just
was
say
it?
it's. Wait. Okay, you're going to have to donate to Oaklash and Patreon to.
Okay, this is gonna be a
this is the
Patreon
Patreon
exclusive.
Exclusive.
Who didn't like you, or who did you think didn't like you? What you said earlier, it's just like the imposter syndrome is like real. Like I don't think it's taken me like such a long time to like get over it, and even then it like comes up every once in a while. But it's just like I still from time to time like just can't believe like, oh, I'm kind of like friends with Mary Weiss. You know, it's just like, you know, I get
Also
to
not
share.
booked
Not booked for Oaklash.
Also,
Yeah.
not booked for Oaklash. You're in good company, people that weren't booked, you know? So, yeah. Imposter syndrome.
That's why we're not doing the
imposter
Oaklash.
stage.
Right? No, I was like the Oaklash Pillows hangover this year because.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. I didn't get the message, but maybe. Mary, if you're hearing this, I'm available.
I just assume. I have no imposter syndrome. I'm a white person.
Yeah. How many
2022.
more years do we have?
Oh,
2022.
one more?
One more. 2022.
And then we're in the
Yeah,
present.
last one.
2020. Well, okay. So the tea is that the block party had been planned already when the pandemic hit. We were fully ready to do a block party May of 2020. And so maybe my favorite part of 2022 was the fact that I didn't really have to do much because it was literally already done. The permits were written. The things were in.
So permits like last for that long?
No, but like
Oh.
I had everything
Yeah,
that I could just like
the paperwork.
submit it.
Gotcha,
like I was
gotcha.
ready. So the block party was already had been a dream for years and years and years. That was like always going to be like the next version of Oaklash.
Years and Years is going to be at
Years-
Oaklash?
Yeah,
years-
Ollie London.
and Tears
Wait.
for Tears.
Wait.
Tears for
Cheers for Fears.
Tears for
I
Fears.
said the right one, right? Ollie London. No, it's
That's
Ollie.
Hollywood.
No, who's the Ollie from?
Ollie Alexander.
Ollie. Okay, Ollie London,
That
please
doesn't sound right.
die. Ollie London's the alt-right gay, and I was like, okay, no.
Oh, no!
Ollie
It's
London's
the wrong
TERF. The person who like got
Tried to look like
surgery
Jimin.
to become Korean.
Yeah,
But they're a white British
Bucked.
person, and then they detransitioned from Korean back
Right,
to
right.
white, and now they're a TERF.
yeah.
Right.
Oh.
We're gonna cut that out.
That's the
Sure.
Patreon exclusive. Yeah, the block party coming to fruition, I think, was definitely the highlight of 2022. It was just like an inevitable thing that needed to happen. It was like it was always going to be the next level of Oaklash, and now we've done it. Now we know how to do it. We keep getting bigger. That last year was just like, and I think last year was the first time that I really got to like party at Oaklash, like really
Yeah.
like go hard at Oaklash, and so that was just amazing. Calypso Jete,
I was going to say Calypso
yeah.
Jete was
doing
yeah.
her like Vogue like instructional class for like Bonita Rose like in the middle of the street. Like it was just insane.
I looked really great that year.
So everything post 2021 Beatrix looked good, and that was enough.
But also, I remember being like, this is the block we need to have this thing at.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I worked there I worked at the Starbucks that used to be there,
in old Oakland.
right? Like from 2012 to like 2013,
The one on the 8th and Broadway?
Yep. And then I worked at the salon that fired me on the other side of that, where it's now Sweet Greens.
Okay.
Yeah, full circle moment again.
Now we own that.
Now we own that.
Yeah.
Beats the
No,
block.
That's why.
Angel Beef, my friend Nick, and I would do yoga on that block.
There you go.
At Yoga to the People, which was Me Too, thank God.
Yeah.
But
That salon also had a yoga moment, and they got they didn't get Me Too, but they got canceled because they fired me. So
There you go. Mm-hmm. And she's uncancelable.
yeah. But then another great moment. I remember 2022. Yeah, just like the full circle moment, being like nonstop. Like that day, like that whole weekend was like party, another party, bus for some reason.
Taking the 808 to San Francisco to go get trade and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
One of my, I don't know if we need to like cut this out, but like also Deja Sky would not get off that fucking microphone once I gave it to her.
we're not gonna take
was
that
your best
out.
moment?
That's so funny.
After her number, I was like, "Do you want to say anything?" This
She was
season's-
like, what about Jada Essence Hall?
I know. Oh, she went through the entire.
What do you guys think of Heidi in the Closet? I don't remember.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
same season. I have no idea.
It was the
Watch
last.
Drag Race.
No, it was literally that, and like it was the like we were.
What about All
supposed to-
Stars?
We're supposed to like clear out after 8, so like I had a whole speech of like we are so glad to be back here in public after, but like you were like no we're out of time, but like she spent 10 minutes on the fucking microphone talking. It's like,
You gotta give your speech this year.
Yeah, do it now.
my
Yeah.
speech.
Oh yeah, this is what was your 2022
my 2022
speech?
My 2022 speech is like, we are here. Like, I was going to give I used to work at that Sweet Greens,
Literally
which
what you
used to
just
be a
did.
salon. And I got fired because I wanted to do drag full time. And I'm here to
really good
recruit
right
you. I was giving my Harvey Milk speech, but then Deja Sky, like, fucking ruined it.
Ruined it. Crushed it.
That's why we're never booking another Rue Girl. I mean, we have Nameless Wilson. But yeah.
We don't have...
Leave that out, please.
Okay, we're gonna bleep that out.
We do
Okay,
have
we'll
names
take a break,
Let's
and
do
then
it.
when we come back, we're gonna find out what we can expect from Oaklash next.
It's not
Everyone's
coming in
everyone's
Davenport.
stepping on my cards.
The yes.
Okay, you guys. It's serious. We need to talk about Lana Del Rey. The Lana Files is an investigative, semi-investigative podcast created by me, Dion, a drag performer, wig stylist, and self-professed Lana Del Rey aficionado, lover, hater, adversary. We have a complicated relationship, as I'm sure many of you do. So, I have set out with this podcast to answer the question, what the hell is her deal? So tune in every week to the Lana Files to learn more about the woman who reinvented not only Americana, but calling somebody daddy. Find us wherever you listen to podcasts, except for Amazon, period.
Episode 18, take 5.
Okay, you actually are the first to guests to like always be making the crunch sound, like when we come back or like whenever we leave. Do you like our bumpers?
Your bumpers.
Bumpers?
Yeah, that's what they're
Ew.
called. Like the
Oh, I thought we were
the
like
inner
doing like a
circle.
little bumper.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you like bumpers?
Yeah.
No, we won't talk about Lorraine right now. But, okay, where did we leave off? We were talking about what can we expect from Oaklash this year. You have me as a curator. You're welcome. But what can we expect from the festival as a whole? Anything you're excited about?
I'm excited for my look. I'm going to look so great this year.
Is it going to be a t-shirt and a corset on top of it?
Ooh, I could. I feel like I'm... I'm getting back to those roots.
Thinking.
I feel like because drag is like so oversaturated with like a look, everything's bedazzled. Everything has to be, you know, nails and you know.
Not here.
No. Well, it was like a few weeks ago, but like
It was.
What you're exemplifying right now is what I like. I don't want to eat my face.
In the
Face-
pandemic, face
Yeah.
bikini
Face
era.
skinny era. I'm in my face skinny era.
I'm excited for Naomi Smalls.
Yeah, we've got some sickening headliners. We have Naomi Smalls, we have Tenderoni, we have Jax from season 16. 16? 15?
No, we're not supposed to say that. Oh wait, no, Jax. I thought you were saying. Whoops.
Wait, why can't we say that?
Wait.
We're not allowed to say is on Dracula. Whoops. I don't have an NDA. Whatever.
I'll cut
We're
it.
gonna have to bleep that out. No,
This is why
that's
people don't tell me
good. That's
anything.
good. Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah, sickening.
Is that what? Anything you want to add about this year?
We have Commando, which is an amazing supergroup band that includes Honey Mahogany, Krylon Superstar, lots of like huge like punk names and like hip hop like legends, all headlining the Friday night Backlash party at the Stork Club. We've got a sickening afterkey. When does this come out? Can I announce that DJ yet? No.
This is coming out a week from tomorrow, so
No,
it'll
I
be...
can't announce our DJ yet, but they're from Chicago. They're sickening.
Oh, really? Okay.
We have, and then we're doing our grand finale at Fairyland on Sunday.
I'm excited for that.
Which was just like the most fun last year, and so like we had to do it again.
Yeah.
It was super freaking cute.
I almost wanted to do like another number because like Fairyland is like such a place to do like concept, like that kind of drag, fairy drag. Oh my gosh, go full circle again.
Fairy Freedom Village. We're back, baby.
There we
Where it all
are.
began.
Is that the name of the queer salon?
No,
I was like,
that's the name of Beatrix's nonprofit that gave us that first $1,000.
And they're gonna give us. They've been giving us money every year because I'm there and they want to see cool shit happen. So
And here she
Calamus
thank you.
are the true founder. No, we are. But they've been super helpful. And I also want to say, wait, I was gonna say something about Fairyland.
Fairyland.
Gorgeous
Got some sickening
conceptual
workshops.
Glory Hole. Did you
Did
you make one?
Glory hole at the
Fisting
Washington
bottom.
Inn.
No, at the Fairyland Hotel. Wait, there's the Fairyland
Oh,
Hotel.
there's the Fairyland Hotel. And there's the Washington Inn, which is where you can find Beatrix LaHaine at 4 a.m.
On my Sniffies cum dump post page. It's going to be right there. No loads refused, and I mean that, honestly.
Good to know. We'll put a link in the bio of how to find that. A geotag
down,
or
yeah.
the come
We're
down.
not sponsored by Sniffies.
Yeah, we're
but
not.
We should be.
No. I feel like everyone's sponsored by Sniffies. How do we get that? Sniffies, contact us. Let us know how you can be our sponsor. I feel like I would be a good ambassador for Sniffies, honestly.
She brings the twinks. Can attest.
She brings the
she brings
twinks
twinks.
every time.
Anyone you want to thank before we get off this
horse.
show? High horse.
I'd like to thank my AA sponsor, Phoebe Cakes. We're not doing very well.
No, we took 3 shots before we even started. Anyone you want to thank?
Well, I took one, but I need to catch up. I want to thank this beat, this mug.
What are you?
Anything you wanna plug?
My butt with Top Toys from the UK. Oh, actually, they're from Canada. But and I want to say this: like during quarantine, queer people only did 2 things. They either improved their drag, or they improve their fisting abilities, and that's a God-given fact right there. So I did both.
I'm not sure what you did. Okay, you did both. Yay!
Bravo.
So you want to thank yourself?
I want to thank Top Toys, and I want them to sponsor Oaklash. Top Toys Canada sponsored Oaklash Pride, which will not be attending because we're going to be in Bushwick.
That's right.
And I want to thank Bella, Chris Hendricks, Kai Kai B. Michaels, Terrible, and Butter Mamon Cakes for being patrons of In My Crumble Opinion. You could be one too. Just look in the description and you follow the process. I actually don't know the intricacies of it.
One last thing I want to say though, like Terrible sponsoring any kind of drag is like so gaggy. Like you should be honored because like that.
I'm truly honored.
I know.
I'm truly honored.
I get the feeling like she hates drag so much, but the fact that she like sponsors this show is like a testament to like how great you are.
She's just in it for the tea.
Yeah.
She's just in it for the drama.
yeah.
Let's be real.
Well, you know, I keep trying to give her the drama, but it never comes. Nobody ever wants to say names.
We said
I know.
put that name on the
we
table.
did. We did.
Gave you
We did say
that
it.
little...
We did say. Yeah. Oh,
We told you who's going to be on Dracula next year.
There's so many things that I've said I'm gonna cut out of this episode. I don't know what's
Who has the time to edit?
Who has the time to? We can't. Certainly not us. Okay.
But
Thank
that
you.
one you might want to-
Oh,
Thank
should
you
we
for
sing-
watching In My Crumble.
Should we sing the
Oh yeah.
My
Do it.
Crumble-
Okay. Sing us out.
In my crumble opinion. Oaklash, May 19th through 21st. Oaklash 2023.eventbrite.com.
Get a chip.
Oh, we gotta do the chip.
Let's do the sound.
Oh, double call. Nice.
In my crumble opinion.
Great. Go team.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, team. Oh my god, I gotta go.
Go. Get out of
Yes.
here.
Oh my god, I look crazy.
You're
my
still
big.
recording.
Oh.
The credits are rolling.